All right. About 5 minutes early. Gives me a chance to solve this. I said I was going to do this like every live stream, but I didn't. So I'm doing it now. How is everybody? Hey, Real Cygnus. So, let's see. Oh, wow. Fresh as a daisy. There's the misleader. What? There we go. Yeah. So, let me see. Fresh Scrooge, Tangle, Smooth. Hmm. Let's try supply chain, food chain, daisy chain, twist. Hey, Keystone. Twist chain? No. Bucket chain? No. Ah. Hmm. Mountain chain. Yeah. Okay. Ha. All right. Uh, twist, tangle, smooth. Uh, thatch? No. I wasn't even close on that. Hmm. Well, Dewey and Scrooge are two Disney characters. Ah, Pip. Is that picture in picture or the name Pip? This could be, I don't know. Damn. I think twist, tangle. No. Got Huey, Dewey, Louie, Donald, Scrooge. Did they have a cousin named Matt? Did they have like a goose friend named Matt? I don't know. Fuck. Jesus. I never really get these things right off, but this one's tough. A lot of times it's a group of words that'll end in a letter. Like, I don't know, mope, mate, pipe, No, that'd be missing an E at the end. Mope, mate, pipe. None of the others fit. Jesus. And I'm trying something new. If you notice down here in the bottom down here, I added lights. I found these little, they call them starry string lights. They're these things. I got a pack of 5 of them for like $8 or some shit, real cheap. But they're these things that these light strings that people, I don't know if you can see it. This thing unwraps to like 3 feet, 3 or 4 feet. Hey, West Side. And the lights are like this far apart, so they're not real. It's not real practical for what I need it for. So what I did was I found on Amazon cosplay, cosplay LED panels for like costumes, like an Iron Man suit. It's got they're shaped like the cutouts of an Iron Man suit, like the eye cutouts or whatever. It's like, and they're square, they're flat, they aren't in a string, and they run off AAA batteries or what? 5 volt. Runs off 5 volt, either 3 volt or 5 volt. I can't remember. But so I ordered those. Those are like $15. So um, I had to tape these in, one of these in to the printer so it wouldn't fall into the vat or get tangled in anything. So the other ones, the ones I ordered, will go right on the wall in the back, and it looks like it's a lot brighter than these. So hopefully that'll be better. But you can actually see the build plate as it's coming out instead of just this shadow. So this is going to be about 4 more hours of printing for this. I'm doing Superman or Batman and the tongue for Venom that I printed last night. I printed the wrong tongue. There's 2 different tongues, and I printed the wrong tongue. So, but anyway, shit. I have fucking no clue. Wow. Yeah, I haven't failed many of these. I'm pretty damn good at them. One day before yesterday, I didn't get. Shit. I mean, twist, tangle, thatch is what you do to a roof, and it's also like straw. Thatch, bucket, mop. Fuck, I don't know. Shit. Did I get the hard one? That's the hard one. Holy shit. No, that's the easy one for me. Fuck. Ah, shit. Yeah, Donald Duck, Huey, or Dewey, Scrooge, Smooth. Isn't that what they call Goofy? Isn't that his nickname, Mr. Smooth? I don't know. Jesus. They got Disney stuff like a bucket and mop are in Sorcerer's Apprentice. Scrooge and Dewey aren't in it. See, fresh, smooth, glowing, dewy. Oh, okay. Adjectives for nice skin. Okay. Now this makes it a little easier. Bucket, thatch, tangle. Fuck. Uh-oh. Up, up. Sorry, the lights kind of came off of the the inside, and I was afraid it was gonna fall into the vat or something. I think I'm okay. Yeah, I definitely will take those out after this. Thatch, tangle, twist. Well, if I go Scrooge, bucket, mop, pip, and mat. Fuck. Let's try that. Nope. Map, mop, tangle, thatch. Dickens characters. Fuck. What the fuck am I thinking? Yeah, see they fucking they fuck you up by with Dewey and Scrooge. So anyway, didn't get that one. I was almost there. What I had tangle, thatch, twist, and mat. Okay. Whatever. So this dipshit decided to reply to me. This is Stephen Alonzo. He keeps saying oblate spheroid projection, which is wrong. The globe Earth is not a projection of anything. He said it's a projection of the graticule. If you don't know what a graticule is, graticule. It's not coming up. The graticule is basically the grid lines of the Earth, the longitude and latitude lines of the Earth. A network of lines representing meridians and parallels on which a map or plan can be represented. It's a projection of the graticule. No, it's not. No, the graticule is a measurement of the longitude and latitude lines of the Earth. It's a division of 360 with the meridians and 360 degrees on the longitude too on the other ones. So yeah, it's just the divisions of a circle, dipshit. So a bunch of people decided to correct him on that. And yeah, you can't say that Trump needs to have a stroke on YouTube or else you'll get timed out for a day. Yeah, so much for free speech, right? Stevie's smiling face is just applying the scientific method and it's working. Yeah, right. Yeah, they muffed me up. Anyway, let's watch the debate.
We are live. This is going to be a good old fashioned debate, a one on one debate. And I'm hosting this one on the TFE channel. So we will have no more audio issues.
And the thing that ticks me off to no end is back here on the wall, on the right back here. This is all in focus back there of stuff hanging on the wall, right? But right here, it's out of focus. Here, it's a little bit in focus. But why can't they? It's the same problem I have with this one, with this printer. The camera that you can use with it doesn't focus right. It's not focused on the correct place. And it's a fixed focus. You can't change the focus. I'm going to take it out after this print. You can take it out. It just slides into a slot. And see if I can't crack open the case and see if it's adjustable. The one for this one that you buy for it, right? That's designed for it is it has some fucking epoxy. The lens is, I guess, adjusted in the factory and then glued in place. Fucking super glued in. So you can't adjust the focus. The ones I got for this, you can. The one I got for it, you can. But that's what, I mean, why the fuck would you have a camera that you can't focus? That's fucking idiotic. Anyway, sorry.
My apologies on that. With the last debate against Nathan Thompson, that was on my end. Just a lack of understanding on the tech side for all these different moving parts. So audio should be great for today. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this, as have I. Stephen Alonzo has.
Stephen Alonzo chickened out on a debate with me. I challenged him to debate the shape of the earth, and he chickened out.
Kind of made a name for himself in the flat earth space, but especially in regards to the final experiment. So just so everyone knows, this is not a debate that I asked for or sought out. It was actually suggested by someone who is a fan of Stephen's and told me that he would like to see me debate Stephen. I think Stephen knows him, or they're at least connected online. And I said, sure, no problem. And then Stephen agreed. And here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Stephen on. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
What? Fucking with things? No, I know how to open the case. The case can be opened. It's not. I don't think it's what do you call it? Ultrasonically welded shut. But I mean, with the camera that you get for this thing online on Discord, people recommended that you pop it open and adjust the focus. So yeah, I won't break it.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Will?
Great. Thanks for being here. And
I wouldn't have to fuck with things if people would make them correctly, right?
why don't you just go ahead and start by introducing yourself, talk about your, credentials and accomplishments and whatever you want to say, so people know
Yeah.
exactly who you are.
So I'm Stephen Alonzo. A lot of you probably know me mostly from Facebook, but also YouTube as well, which has been where most of my content has been. I got into flat Earth about 5 years ago,
I bet the IRS knows him.
but only 2 years ago did I feel comfortable to start teaching it. I noticed major problems within the flat Earth community, and Will and I are going to be discussing that later. But a lot of the stuff that they would deny, I thought, why are they denying it if it makes perfect sense on flat Earth? So I founded the Flat Earth University, put some free programs together to start teaching people the flat Earth model that I believe is the most realistic representation and the most cohesive, I guess, explanation for all of phenomenon. My educational background is in computer science. So that was when I was younger, maybe 2012 to 2016, did my undergraduate. And then September of last year, I earned my PhD in geocentric cosmology. That is through the Flat Earth University. Now with that, my dissertation, my original contribution to the field was with the Firmament Trackers app. My original contribution was with the multi-observers at once. So prior to my contribution, astronomy software could only have one observer at a time. And we can discuss.
Why would you need more observers? Why would you need more than one observer at a time? Do you know what an astronomy fucking software is for? It's to see the stars, dude. It's to see how the stars are in your location, to identify stars. Why do you need more than one point of observation, or more than simultaneously? With Stellarium, with Night Sky, with any astronomy app, you can change your location. Does he know that? Does he know that you could change your location on these different apps? Why would you need more than one point of observation at one time? It's fucking useless.
That more as well, but that's a pretty good introduction to who I am. I run the Flat Earth University.
I don't know. Are you required to declare gifts? I know when I got my truck, when my dad gave me or willed me his truck, I didn't have to pay taxes on it. It was a gift. So I don't know.
I had the Flat Earth Science textbook, and I made the Firmament Trackers Flat Earth app. Those are my ways to give back to the community, and you can download it for free.
Oh, he's just giving back to the community. He grifts because he cares too much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. So, Stephen, I need to tell you something which is going to be super important so that you understand where I'm coming from.
I think Will is a little naive. I think that's his nature, and I think it comes out in debates like this, and you're going to see why.
And so that the audience understands where I'm coming from. I was convinced, and by the way, let me just get this out. You don't need to respond while I'm saying it, because it's kind of a little bit long-winded, but it's important. There have been.
I mean, he's naive to begin with, to think that the final experiment would destroy flat Earth. Can't. You'll never destroy flat Earth. It ends a lot of discussions with honest people, but yeah.
There have been multiple people over the years that have trolled the flat Earth community. So probably the one that people know the most would be Logan Paul. He trolled the flat Earth community, ended up making a YouTube video / short documentary about it. Jimmy Kimmel did it. Tyler, I think his name is Tyler Oliveira. He did it. Another guy who I don't remember his name did it to Nathan Thompson. And so I don't like people that troll the flat Earth community.
MC Toon did it.
Because what they're doing is they're acting like they're flat Earth in order.
Him and a bunch of other people, I can't remember who was involved, but they created a fake document and trolled the flat Earth that way.
To get into their inner circle, in order to record them and just try to essentially make fun of them. So I don't like that. Now, I was convinced until 2 days ago that you were trolling the flat Earth community. And so I was going to ask you if you wanted to come out and say that you were trolling the flat Earth community. But
no.
Yeah, so I don't believe that anymore. I decided to look into you a little bit more, and I'm really glad I did that because I became convinced that you.
I have a feeling that he lives in Belize because it's a tax dodge. There's no if you make under like $2,000, you don't have to pay Belize income tax.
You are not trolling the flat Earth.
That's what I was just looking up.
Community.
So
I found things that
because he sounds like he's from Canada. I mean, he sounds Canadian. So what's he doing in Belize?
That I thought that I've only ever seen in the flat Earth community. And so I mean,
the weather's nicer probably, but yeah, it just seems a little odd.
Glad that I did that extra research. Now, why this discussion has a personal connection and importance for me is people who have been following TFE, they know that I got into flat Earth because of a friend of mine. Her name is Wendy. And Wendy has been...
I had a girlfriend in high school named Wendy.
Convinced by your model.
Wendy Webb. Her name sounds like a Stan Lee character.
So she still believes that your model solves these issues. And so as far as I can tell, she's still flat Earth even after the final experiment. And so
she had a great sense of humor, fun to be around, great kisser, and she had a huge nose, a Roman nose, one that comes, like not a hook nose, but just a prominent. I love a prominent nose on a woman. I'm weird.
That's important to me because you're now in the way, so to speak, of her leaving flat Earth, which is what I think she needs to do. So let's go ahead and have a conversation. I don't think you're trolling. I do think you're a genuine flat earther, but I do think there are things.
I mean, Steve Alonzo should get out of this bullshit, this grift, and become a fucking model. I mean, he's, at the risk of sounding gay, he's a fucking gorgeous man. He's a good-looking dude. Why is he wasting his money grifting on flat earthers? Seriously.
With you and your model that aren't forthright, and I think that will come out in our discussion.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. I was just thinking you were going to originally ask me, am I trolling? But that caught me off guard how you did research, and I think you're being serious that you do think I actually believe what I'm saying, and that is important. That'll make
she had a nose like Howard Stern.
The communication we're going to have a lot clearer. And as you know, I agree with 100% of your observations, meaning this kind of is more of an episode.
No, you don't, dipshit. You don't agree with his observation because his observation proves the Earth is a sphere. Your observation's fucking impossible. Your model,
epistemological debate about which model best describes reality. You believe that your interpretation is the only correct one, and you will defend that. Whereas I do believe both interpretations are valid, but that when correctly interpreted, we find that the results better match the North Polar A projection rather than an oblate spheroid projection.
And you're a liar. You've been explained to that. You've been explained this, man. To say that it matches the AE map better than the spherical Earth, the heliocentric model is a fucking lie.
So science operates under the philosophy of falsifiability. Scientific theories are never proven in an absolute sense. They are only supported by evidence and can potentially be disproven by new data. Science relies on empirical observation and hypothesis, which are both inherently fallible. So any conclusion, including yours and mine, can always be overturned by future evidence. So instead of proving things, science refines hypotheses through repeated testing. The goal.
Right. What testing have you done? What testing have you done on your model?
For my flat,
rigging figures up to show you something in 3D isn't testing anything.
Science is to continually move forward without contradicting the past. We still live on the Gleason map, much in the same way that.
No, we don't. The Gleason map is wrong. It says right down here that there is no 24-hour sun south of 80 degrees or 70, whatever. So the Gleason map's wrong, man.
That you guys could relate to classical mechanics, Newtonian, evolving to Einsteinian relativity without anything Newton did being disproven. So that's why a lot of you guys know that I stand firm on what I said a few months back, that Mark Sargent and David Weiss are still correct and all their work's valid. They were only operating from a 2D framework, and they didn't have access to the 3D model I made to correctly understand what I call dome refraction. So I'm just going to quit.
You mean the 3D model you stole from two different people? Just wrote it in a different type of code? I mean that model that doesn't work, that uses impossible physics and impossible optics? Very, 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 very rare atmospheric conditions to function? Fuck off.
Quickly just
Fucking
show this
idiot.
only image here, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. If they could not see this prior to TFE, and they had no way to know better. So I'm not saying anything prior to me is wrong. I'm improving on it, and I hope that from that we can find out that we still live on the Gleason map and that nothing changes.
Okay, cool. So, Stephen, one of the most important observations / experiences / data that we have for the final experiment is actually a flight. And so there was a flight that Critical Think took on his way home from Antarctica, where he flew from Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia, nonstop. And that flight was a little over 13 hours long. I would like to know what your thought is on that flight, how you think that flight is possible on a flat Earth, but more importantly, how you think that flight is possible on the Gleason's map.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people know that I believe we have an ether fluid framework that all matter essentially travels through, and it's within.
No. Sorry. That's been disproven.
In a dome structure. And the reason why this matters is that ether compresses measurements. It's called the Lorentz length transform. This is a real thing that special relativity would use. Now, I don't fully agree with that, so I reinterpret it to a way that works on the Gleason map. So I'm not sure if you remember TFE challenge number 1. Let me just see if I can put it up on the screen so people have an idea of what I'm talking about. I want to share challenge number 1. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can make it so you can still see my face. Wonderful. So what I did because of your challenge is I had to derive a formula using planar trigonometry. Now that's very important to understand because with planar trigonometry, we are actually measuring distances on a flat surface, unlike the Haversine formula, which I wanted to make sure to show so that people know the difference. It's not as simple as just saying Steve used the Haversine formula. It's no, Steve.
See, the Haverside formula only works on a sphere, on a curved surface, dipshit. It's the formula used to derive the length, the distance over a curved surface.
Is using planar trigonometry. And then to deny it, you got to go more advanced and look at the ether, the implications beyond that. But the practical approach is that the farther you get south, distances compress. So I actually believe if we could go up in space and look down, you would see Australia exactly like that. But
no, you wouldn't, because it doesn't match measurements, dipshit. Its proportions are wrong based on the measurements that have been taken of it.
Because of the etheric compression.
See, this is because of the etheric compression. What the fuck are you on, man? No, it looks this distorted because this is a distortion of the globe. It says it right the fuck on it. It says it right up here. A projection, you stupid fuck.
Measurements end up exactly the same as the globe. So it's really hard to tell the difference from flights alone.
Okay, cool. So I do want to get back to your submission for.
I mean, what a lying sack of shit this motherfucker is.
Or TFE
Seriously.
challenge number 1, but this is a very specific flight. So if a pilot.
Look! You can see the thing coming out of the water. It's awesome.
It was going to make a flight plan for that flight using that map behind you. What exactly would that look like?
You'd have to, I guess, graph out the gradient compression to know the shortest distance.
Map out the gradient compression? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Map out the gradient? What?
Have to, I guess, graph out the gradient compression to.
The gradient compression? The gradient of what?
To know the shortest distance. So it's no longer as if you're being on a sphere doing like a geodetic survey where the great circle is the straightest line. On flat Earth, you need to see where the etheric compression is the least.
So how do you tell that? How do you know where the etheric compression is the least, huh?
So because we have a parabolic dome, if you're right at the north, it's going to be a very different compression than if you're flying around there. So what happens is pilots will plot a flight pretty much the exact same as if it was a globe. So it's going to not be a straight line because the distance is shortest that way. There's too much ether here, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Not one little fucking bit. Oh my God, this guy's in fucking La La Land.
Yeah. How would you know? Like, how would the pilot know to have enough fuel, though?
Well, distance,
for that flight,
depending on what the distance is.
And how do they calculate the distance?
With the Lorentz latitude distance formula. So you have two.
No, they don't. No, that's not how they calculate distance, dipshit.
Options. You can.
Distances are known. That's how we calculate things.
Use a globe Haversine if you want, but you can also use the flat Earth model. And what I found was that the difference was only about, or is it the first slide where the distances are shown? Yeah, it's only about 20 kilometers difference. So that alone over these massive flights, Wait,
what? Average error? What the fuck? The flat Earth distance formula demonstrates remarkable accuracy across all test cases when comparing to the globe Haversine. Really? So if I want to go from Let's see. From one side of Antarctica to the other? You think that's as that you think that's only off by 21 kilometers compared to the your bullshit map here? When in reality I'm only going 1,000 miles, but on your flat Earth bullshit, I'd have to go across the entire fucking flat Earth. You're full of shit, man.
Can't really tell the difference of which formula is more accurate. Should we use the flat Earth Lorentz latitude distance formula, which is number 2, or should we use the globe Haversine distance formula? So I guess with your final experiments, I was kind of hoping you would be letting us have that data. So for the predictions made, we could then see which model is more accurate. For example, the flight from Los Angeles, is it actually 8,928 or is it 8,972? So we don't really
See, he picks stuff in the northern hemisphere. See, that's the northern hemisphere, man. Shit isn't going to be that off in the northern hemisphere. But you go south, it's way the fuck off. And you wouldn't go on a curve around the edge of the fucking flat Earth because that's not the shortest distance, stupid.
know yet, but I'm hoping if
See, if you go from Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia, on a flat Earth, you'd be flying over fucking China or pretty goddamn close to it. That doesn't happen.
if you're able at some point to release that data, we could possibly then figure out what model aligns best to reality. But at the moment,
That reminds me, Real Cygnus, there's a restaurant called Super Tortoise. It's a Mexican sandwich restaurant where they sell tortas. I had the idea where they should sell turtle sandwiches made out of turtle meat, and they could call it the Super Tortoise.
both work fine.
Okay, now when you say distances are compressed, what does that mean?
It's a Lorentz length contraction. So I guess there's 2 ways of looking at it. So, in general relativity, you can go so fast that time slows down. There's a kinematic equivalence to that. So a lot of us don't at all believe in general relativity. The way to look at it is that the coordinate system is expanding or contracting. So either time speeds up. Me personally, that makes no sense. I don't believe time can change. I do believe that physical distances, though, can compress under ether.
Can compress under ether. Okay, prove there's an ether, dipshit.
Specifically, this is the Lorentz ether length transform. You can Google that quickly, or anyone in the audience can, to know that it's actually real. The problem is, or where we can debate about, is my application of the Lorentz length transform.
Yeah. Now, I do think there's some serious issues with your formula, which we'll get to. But the issue I'm having here is I personally know 3 pilots. Okay, one of them works for Southwest Airlines, so they're very serious pilots.
Yeah, commercial license.
Yeah, definitely. And as you know, I was trying to find a flat Earth pilot to try to understand, because when I talk to the pilots that I know, they are using
I actually worked with pilots in the Army.
The globe for flight planning. They're not using any of the things that you're talking about. And so do you know a flat Earth pilot?
No. So it's called a CPL. You'd lose your commercial pilot license if you did what I did and publicly spoke.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if you come out as a pilot and say, "Oh, the Earth is flat and none of our math works at all," and I don't believe. Yeah, you get fired. Absolutely.
You could probably find people with a PPL, the private pilot license. They would talk to you, but a commercial one, it's a financial. So that's the problem. In mainstream capitalism, we are blackmailed financially. If you say the wrong thing, Unless you're like me and you're self-employed, it's different. But most people have licenses. You with your financial licenses, you could lose that if you do the wrong thing. So it's very hard to find that in this modern day right now. Sadly, we're a persecuted minority group.
That makes
No, you're not a minority group, you motherfucker. Are you pulling a fucking race card, you dumb fuck? Listen to this guy. We're an oppressed minority group. Oh,
sense.
is the world picking on you because you're stupid?
And if you recall, I also said I would speak to a retired flat Earth pilot. So do you know any retired flat Earth pilots?
No, I don't know. I also don't know how pensions work either, if it's possible to lose that.
Okay.
You have to see how they benefit from talking to you and see if it's a win-win for both of you. I don't have a commercial license, so it's hard for me to
Actually
empathize fully with them. But the way I view it is if I had some type of license that I could lose by speaking, I wouldn't want to.
There you go.
I see. So, Stephen, again, I'm glad that I did more research into you, because then I discovered I don't think you're a troll. But in my extra research, I came to the conclusion that I actually think you're an imposter. And that's the best word I can come up with.
Actually, we don't need the closed caption. What am I doing?
In my research, I went to Amazon and I typed in your name.
Yes.
And the first thing that came up is Flight to Truth, a pilot's journey to flat Earth. And that's you.
Yes.
And so in this book, you claim to be
Uh-oh.
a pilot.
Yes. Now that's a very good thing to point out. So
Oh, that's a very good thing. Yeah, it is. Huh.
let me share what I want to then show you. So as you know, I'm an author. I have several income streams. That is one of several books. So if you can see the screen I'm sharing right now, I have a book called The Bun in His Oven. It's about male pregnancy. As a lot of you guys don't know, men have to go through pregnancy, and we often aren't appreciated
What?
for the struggle that we have. So I wrote a book about me as a man.
No, men don't go through pregnancy. Females go through pregnancy. Jesus fucking Christ.
The tale of male maternity. Let's also take a look. Oh, and just so you know, these are actual books. You didn't want to click it to show them it because you know it would disprove your argument. But I am an author.
No, how would that disprove his argument? How would that disprove his argument about you lying about being a pilot?
With several books. Let me see if I can expand this. So I also wrote one called The Encyclopedia of Woke. I have about 10 different books. So you might not want to click where it
Oh, fucking Lord, he's one of those.
says Stephen Alonzo at the top because it'd ruin your argument. But you'll get to see that I have about 10 fictional
Right. This isn't fiction. This isn't fiction, dude.
books that are not used at all for teaching. And it's free. That's just for fun.
Okay, so here's the issue that I'm having is that I read your book, and I've also found comments you've made online, even recently, where you're claiming to be a pilot and that you were a pilot. And so I fear that you're an imposter and that you never were an actual pilot.
So you'd want to look at the groups that I said that in. So I belong to both globe groups where it is just globe
It doesn't matter what groups you said it in. You said it.
trolls, they're being toxic, and flat earth groups. So if it's a flat earth group, like the firmament trackers that you are in, that I'm an admin of with 28,000 people, I've never said that at all. Now, if it's a globe group where people are saying, Stephen, you should kill yourself, you should die, you're a terrible person, it's different for them. The content is more about engaging with them and trying to get the genuine people to come to the real groups. So look at.
So lying about being a pilot, how are you rationalizing that?
Where it was posted.
Okay, now am I hearing you right?
Good one. Good one. That's from Patton.
That you
Seen that movie 30 times.
were never a pilot?
No, of course it's not.
Okay, I appreciate that because your book claims that you were, and it claims that that's actually how you came to be flat Earth was by being a pilot.
Correct, but I have books that say as a man I can get pregnant. It's non-fictional, especially that outfit. Like no one dresses like that to.
Right. So is that you on the cover of the pregnant book? No, it's some other character. That's a fictional character. Men can't get pregnant, but you're a flat earther.
To be serious.
Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate clearing the.
So if I write a book that says I was a pilot, now I'm a flat earther, but then I also write a book about Santa Claus, does that mean that me saying that I was a pilot and a flat earther is fake?
Air because I contacted people that have interacted with you, and they told me that you actually told them you were a pilot, that you answered questions, and so I'm glad that we can definitely clear the air there.
Yeah.
See, that's not you, and that's not you. But that's you. Flight to Truth, a pilot's journey of flat Earth.
You answered questions, and so I'm glad that we can definitely clear the air there.
Yeah, it depends which group. So there are Facebook groups where like they're very toxic, and it is just for trolling. There's no actual genuine discussion like what goes on in the Firmament Trackers group that you're a part of. If you see the difference between a moderated flat Earth group and an unmoderated flat Earth group where it's only trolling, I participate in both because I actually genuinely enjoy the discussion, the psychology of it. It's very interesting. So I want to know why a glober would self-identify as a glober, and oftentimes they only are attracted to the ridiculous stuff. You have to dress up as a pilot to get their attention. But that's not for teaching flat Earth. So flat Earth science, like this, is something completely different. It's an actual academic book. So the difference
No, it's not. It's not an academic book. It's a lie.
between fiction books and non-fiction books.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to your submission, which, give me 1 second. Oh, this is very annoying. Hold on. It looks like.
So this is I'm looking at it, and it's got an ASIN number, publication date, language, file size, simultaneous device usage, unlimited, text speech, X-ray not supported, word-wise, enable, bestsellers rank. 40 number 163 in 45-minute science and math short reads. Number 249 in bibliographies and indexes. Huh. So it's saying that it's classifying this as science and a bibliography. Or is what you claim it as. See, you had to categorize this. You had to categorize it, Steve, as having, give it a category, and you categorized it as a bibliography and a science book. See, that's from you, dipshit. You fucking liar. I'm trying to find out if it's. See what he has about it. Dr. Stephen Alonzo is a distinguished figure in the worlds of academia and technology. No, you're not. At the young age of 30, his work has already impacted both domains profoundly, but perhaps what's even more fascinating is his early retirement and shift to a life more in tune with nature and free from taxes. I added the free from taxes thing. Yep, Dr. Stephen Alonzo was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Growing up in a diverse, bustling city, Stephen developed a keen interest in technology and innovation from an early age. His academic journeys come through some of Canada's most prestigious institutions, where he honed his expertise in computer science and leadership. His education is Bachelor of Computer Science from the University of Waterloo, Master of Computer Science from Queen's University, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science from York University. No, you don't have a PhD. York University? I'd say that's a fucking lie. Sorry. So let me see. So he said he's got a PhD in computer science. Electrical engineering and computer science PhD. Well, he could. He could. He could have a degree. He could have that. Yeah. I won't harsh him on that.
Like I have to stop sharing and reshare each time. So 1 second. Okay, here it is. All right, so this is your challenge that you submitted for the TFE, the 3 challenges that I gave out prior to us going to Antarctica. And
now that one, there's an amendment. Let me just check to see the difference.
Okay, and if you'd like,
wrong with
it says I got 12 people watching, but only 2 people are commenting. What the fuck is up with that? Hey, One Big Pond.
That's okay. And if you like, you could email me the amendment right now and I can pull it up. But our first conversation that we're going to have about this is going to have nothing to do with anything that you amended.
Oh, by the way, Westside, I got this from Amazon. This is where I got it's knitted. It's like a knit sweater, and it's really comfortable. And I don't think it was that expensive.
Okay, yeah, the amendment was published December 22nd when I've reviewed the math, but I'll have mine up on screen and I'll see if I notice any errors in yours.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I noticed in your math was this very strange number of 6,371 kilometers, which just happens to be the average radius of the Earth. And so my first thought was that you're cheating and that you're kind of sneaking in globe math into your flat Earth math. Yep. And then you told me either in an email or in a Facebook post that the reason that number was in your formula was because it's the height of the firmament.
Correct.
The height of the firmament that he can't prove.
So here's my question for you, which is, what does the height of the firmament have anything to do with planes flying through the air?
The amount of ether. That's similar to what I said before. So remember how we live under a dome. The compression that happens on the South Pole is completely different than the compression that happens at the North Pole. So the height, I actually played around with that height. I could raise it and lower it, but the problem was
you could. Oh, so you just so it's just arbitrary. So the height of a physical object, presumably, is just arbitrary. Fits your narrative.
As the results didn't match what we actually observed in reality. Like I have friends in Australia.
What a fucking clown.
Who can drive across the country and measure the distances. So we kind of knew what a wrong and right answer would be. So this kind of had to be the height of the formula given the real life observations that we observe.
What real life observations of the dome do you have? You've touched it. You've seen it. Prove it.
How did you get the height of the firmament? Because I've never seen the firmament.
Well, it's derived from the observations. So if I chose a different, so example, I started, let's say 1,000 kilometers. At one
What observation?
point, I thought the height was a lot smaller. I had two different heights at one point. It wasn't until your challenge that I realized the ether actually matters for distances. And that's why I had to raise the height. I think, or it was in miles before. I might have had it at 6,000 miles, and now it's at this in kilometers, 6,371 kilometers. I think those are the two differences. But the reason why is that I found out through your challenge, my previous model was wrong. So that's why I always talk about the scientific method. We make a hypothesis, we attempt to falsify it. And thanks to TFE number 1, I then learned that the height of the firmament is actually that, and my previous one is wrong.
Okay, got it. So it's interesting because I think you might be the first person ever to figure out the height of the firmament.
No, who is it? What's the guy's name? Shane and Alan use it, but it's from another guy before where he derived the radius of the Earth from the wavelength of light. So I've seen people do that before as well, where if you get a wavelength of light under certain situations, you can derive that radius as well. So I've seen other methods. Do you want me to put it up on screen quickly, or is it just not really?
No, I've just never heard.
Here you go. I'll put a link to this. Where can I share it? There's a share button. Yeah, this is it. This is the sweater I'm wearing right now. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, it's even got the thing. So, yeah, and it comes in different styles. Oh, I like that. Holy crap. Holy shit, I like that. They only had gray and black when I ordered. Yeah, these are all new. Holy shit. Wow. Anyway, let's see if it'll let me. God damn, that's 418 characters long. Jesus. Damn it. Didn't it? Oh, copy link? Will that work? Yeah, there you go. Anyway,
I've never found a flat earther that said definitively the firmament is exactly this height. And so that's what I'm saying. You might be the first
Well, it's
at.
not definitively. As I said, this is my hypothesis right now. So I'm always open to I want my model to be falsified.
so you haven't measured it. You haven't tested anything. You haven't measured anything. The hypothesis is what comes before you test it. Fuck.
So I can then move forward and figure out the correct stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So right now, I do think that's the height. Yes, right now, this height works perfect for everything. And I have no reason to change it.
Well, I can tell you that calculating flight distances will only work with the radius value of the Earth. And so if you change it, they're not going to work anymore. And so I think it's a pretty wild coincidence that the height of this so-called firmament is exactly the radius of the Earth.
Well, that's what happens if you wrap a flat Earth into a ball. You're going to end up with much of the same dimensions, especially along the latitude.
Yeah.
Right. You when you wrap the projection of the globe back around the globe, it's going to be accurate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but the height of the firmament would not have anything to do with wrapping a flat Earth around a ball.
Yeah, you can stretch it out to do that. Let me see if I can show you the math for that. Wrapping the flat Earth into a globe. So all of this is on my website. Let me just see if I can save the image instead of the whole website to put up. Let me get rid of these images, sorry. Yeah, a lot of my nonfiction books are all free. So anyone who wants to learn about these fiction books, check them out on Amazon. But let me get the why.
See, that didn't say fiction, man. You didn't, that book's not classified as fiction. That's you lying.
I did what I did here. So this seems to make sense to me. Whether you have a flat Earth or a globe, you're going to have this same kind of results. Does that make sense what you're seeing on screen? You're going to have a diameter, and you're still going to have a diameter. You're going to have a radius, which can become the firmament height. What's actually interesting to me is that the firmament has two values on the flat Earth model, where the globe only has one, which implies to me that the final result is more fixed. Like, this is how it has to be.
Gotcha. It's okay. I don't get it, but it's okay because your math is definitely flawed.
I mean,
So
he's completely insane, man.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here on what you sent me. And I'm going to go down to the Sydney calculations, which you can see on the screen. And you'll notice there, your final result was 11,027.9 plus 3,417.4 equals 11,327.9. So this is just bogus math.
Yeah, that was a typo.
That's a big typo.
Yeah, now you have to see the full work on something else, but let me just show you what the actual one could be. That's why I recommend you guys go to the website to get the updated stuff, because I fixed this all when I reviewed it. But let me just show you the same calculation, how it would correctly look.
Hey, Mr. B, I missed you there. And Petey, you guys slipped in on me.
Let me see.
Okay, so I see some problems here. Here, let me do this.
Is that over $100? Whoa. Holy shit.
I'm going to take mine off to make yours bigger.
Yeah.
Is this Sydney?
Yeah, this is for Sydney. Yeah, 6 point. Yeah. So the same number you're looking at in yours, 6.42 would be the same.
Okay, great. So the compensation, which is the third from the bottom, that has to do with your etheric compensation, if I recall.
Yes.
Etheric scaling. Okay.
That number you just you just reduced it to what you needed. You see?
No, I don't.
Your etheric scaling.
Mm-hmm.
You just here, do this. Can you pull up London?
London. Yes.
3,000. Jesus Christ.
London
I really wish I was better at math.
spreads across 2 pages, but I think I can still make it fit.
Did you hear what Canada's talking about doing? 100% tariff. A straight 1-to-1 tariff on all Teslas.
Let me just see.
I'm all for that.
The bottom is what matters.
Okay.
Okay, got it. So you did it again here, and then
So it's the same formula. It's the same for all calculations.
Etheric scaling is 3,435.0. Well, he changed it. It originally was 3,174.4, right? Yeah, 417.4. So he changed it. Now it's 435.
Me asking for the local one in like Boulder, it seemed to work for that as well.
We'll get to that one next. Can you pull up Atlanta real quick?
Yes. Atlanta is 6.
Oh, unless that number changes. How it for changes the location?
0.2.
Need someone who's really, really, really good at math to fucking go over this shit.
Okay. All right, great. And then
Okay, it's because of the compensation. That's where he gets that number. Okay.
lastly, which is what I want to talk about, can you pull up the Denver Boulder one?
Yeah, now that's not on this sheet then. Let me
That's
see.
okay.
No, I can still get it though. I have it, I think. That would be
Yeah, he's from Canada.
TFB number 1. No, I actually can't find the Denver Boulder one. I don't think I put that to my website.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Okay, cool.
Oops, that's
Hey, Citizen 9.
not it. 1 second. Okay, here it is. Okay. Here is the Denver Boulder one. I found some more bad math there. The etheric scaling, 2801.81 times 32.26 divided by 5,000 equals 7.54. That's not correct. It doesn't
Hey, Steven.
equal 7.54.
You sure?
Yeah. You want to grab a calculator?
Yeah, I was going to text that. $32.26
Yes.
divided by 5,000 times that by 2,000.81 equals 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, you're right. That's wrong.
Okay. So
Are you supposed to be a professor with a PhD?
as I went through this, I didn't understand everything, obviously. But the pieces that stood out to me were math issues. Now, you said you made corrections on the other one. I never knew that. So I'm glad you're telling me now.
Yeah, so there might still be ones here that I'd want to review. What matters though is the full work, not what I copied down from the papers. Let me show you on my screen how it actually expands out.
Copied down from the papers? What did you find something on your computer, write it on paper, and then type it in off that? Control C, Control V, dipshit.
So this is, now let me see, did I do this math wrong as well? Yeah, I still have the 7.45 there. So that is wrong. That should be 18.
Okay. So let me tell you what I think is significant is if there is a debate going on between two people, as significant as we live on a globe or we live on a flat earth, the way to settle the debate is to find where there are differences. And the things that you kept submitting were not very different from the globe model.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to me that these two ideologies are so diametrically opposed to each other, but you keep giving me things that are so close to the globe model. So what I did to prepare for our debate is I tried to find something, which I found, that you and I would agree is completely different on the two models.
Okay.
And that is a geographic South Pole.
Yeah, it would be slightly different.
Slightly different? You mean the difference between existent and fake? Yeah, that's slightly different.
Well, it would be very different because on the globe model, there is only one geographic South Pole. And then in your model, you said there's an infinite number of South Poles.
Yeah, but the South Pole magnetically is the same as the geographic South Pole, which is a single physical location. So when you asked me to find where it actually is, I then had to assign a location to it on my model. So that's it up here.
Nobody cares about the magnetic South Pole. Geographic South Pole. Where's that? There isn't an infinite number of geographic South Poles.
Now, where it is would be...
I mean, there would have to be on a flat Earth, which would be fucking impossible.
longitude 139 degrees west. So on the Gleason map behind that, right about here.
So what, do you look it up?
Now, the reason for that is how people get there from New Zealand. So I had to look at the most realistic spot for where it would be, and that is it. Now, what you're right, though, about where we absolutely would disagree is the exact location. You're going to believe it's at 90 degrees south latitude, whereas
Yes, it is.
I believe it's at 89.999 degrees south latitude.
You're wrong. Demonstrably wrong.
Now, the only way to tell that apart would be to look up at the South Celestial Pole and I guess have measurement devices that can confirm it is actually 90 degrees and not just 89.99 degrees.
Okay, so we'll get to the South Celestial Pole in a bit. But when it comes to this geographic South Pole,
I mean, seriously, that's like saying that the axle of your bicycle wheel is over here, not here, right? You got a round bicycle wheel. That's like saying the axle is over here, is off center.
I was not expecting any flat
I mean, do you know what a pole is? The pole is the rotational pole of the Earth.
earther, but I wasn't expecting you, especially, to say there's an infinite.
It's not a pole. A pole. That's not what the South Pole is.
Number of geographic South Poles. So
No, not geographic South Poles. There's only one geographic South Pole. There's an infinite magnetic South Pole.
yeah,
The
and I'm
South Pole is
talking.
a magnetic point. The geographic, there's only one.
Right, and the magnetic pole changes. How do you reconcile that?
I'm talking about geographic South Pole only.
Yeah, there's just one.
And you're saying there's only one on?
Right, so where is it? Where is it? You say it's at 89.999. Well, that would be a ring just inside this one, concentric to it by 0.0001 degree. So where is it? Which point along that line that you just suggested is the geographic South Pole?
A flat Earth.
Correct. One on a flat Earth, one on a globe as well. I assume they're at similar locations. You'd head south of New Zealand.
Okay, so you're saying the geographic South Pole on a flat.
Okay, south of New Zealand, that would be there. So that's the geographic South Pole, that specific point right there. That would mean it's the entire ring.
Flat Earth is south of New Zealand.
Roughly, you'd go down.
So then how come they went from Chile, went straight that way, and they're there? How does that work? Because they went from Santiago, Chile. They didn't go from Australia or New Zealand. They went from Sydney over here, dude. Or is that it? No, that'd be Africa. So no, it's over here. So how did they get here from here? Or how did they get here from here? They traveled this way and then wound up over here? Did they teleport?
So the exact longitude is 139
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Very, very much appreciated.
west. That's what I put in my model. That's the visualization up on screen. So it's going to look different depending on how you're looking at it, but you'd head southeast of New Zealand to get there.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect. And then is that where you're saying the South Pole Research Station is located?
Yes. I think it's called Amson Scott. Is that how you pronounce it?
Admonson Scott?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah, that's it though. That's where it'd be.
Okay, great. So I'm glad you are stating this. This is very important. There is a company called White Desert. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, they do Wolf's Fang runway, I think.
Very good. I'm impressed. Yes, they do. Now, did you know they fly people to the South
That's what they call New England, isn't it? Connecticut? White Desert?
Pole Station?
No, but I would assume they do. But Wolf's Fang is down here, so I think I know where you're going at. But continue. Yeah.
That's not where Wolf's Fang runway is.
Oh no, they're over here actually.
No, they're not over there. They're actually south of South Africa.
Over here. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't. Can you zoom out a little bit so people can see your map? Yeah. So go ahead and put your finger south of South Africa. Now, it'd be a little bit further up higher. Yeah. Right in there. Something that people don't know about landing at the South Pole is you have to have skis on the plane.
Yes.
So we're talking about very small aircraft, okay? That have
not like
skis.
what you landed with at ALE, not in a Boeing.
Correct. We don't have to have skis at Union Glacier.
Okay.
But at the South Pole, you do. So we're talking about very small aircraft. White Desert flies people to the South Pole in about 7 hours to the South Pole Research Station. So if you look back at where you were saying that research station is, and where, yes. So how does that work in a small plane going?
So there'd be two options. The latter, I don't really want to believe because that would imply simulation theory. But the former one is that etheric distance I was talking about. So I don't actually.
Etheric distance, you're going across. There's no, see, you say the ether gets more complicated further south you go. No, you're having to go across the thing, man. Where's the ether distance here?
I think they have their compass at, what would it be? Due south is like 180 degrees. So I don't think they're actually going 180 degrees south. I think they're going 179 degrees south and just wrapping right around. But if that's not the case and they actually are able to confirm they're going 180 south, that would imply we live in a virtual reality. It means that what they're doing is going.
No, it wouldn't, dumb fuck. It would imply that we live on a fucking globe. See this ring? The ring that you've got your finger on here? That's 1 point stretched out to the circumference of this thing. Oh, that would imply that we live in it's virtual reality. Yeah, anything but reality, right? Got to be anything but what it really is.
Going that way and popping out right over here. Now, I don't think that's very realistic. I would rather believe that they're just traveling through the ether, going at that exact same speed.
So they're going around the circle? Wouldn't it be shorter to go across? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so the distance of that flight would be probably on your map, the longest distance of any flight in the world. and it happens in a very short amount of time in a very small plane. And I just don't think that's possible.
It doesn't sound realistic, no.
Okay.
Huh. So if something doesn't sound very realistic, chances are it's not very fucking realistic.
I'm glad that you're at least willing to admit that.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, there's still a lot to learn about the South and all the technicalities of there. So if they are going 180 degrees due south, that's quite interesting. But even if they are going that way, that's the same ether compression that I believe in.
Okay, cool. When you say 180 degrees south, are you referring to 90?
No, my compass would show 180 degrees if I'm going south. My compass could be wrong, but it's an old analog one. But we have a 0 degrees at the top, 90 degrees east, 180 south, and then 270 west.
Okay. All right. So my next question for you
is all I was trying to say, due south.
Okay. My next question for you is about the South Pole again. So the research station that you mentioned, the Amundsen-Scott Research Station, the reason it's called that is because in 1911, Roald Amundsen and Robert Scott both were trying to become the first men to ever go to the geographic South Pole. Now, Scott did not know that Amundsen was going to do it because he was supposed to go to the North Pole, but he changed his plan, didn't tell anyone except his brother, and did not even tell his crew until it was almost too late for them to turn around, but they all agreed to go with him. So they started in different places, thousands of miles away from each other, and Amundsen beat him there. So he got to the geographic South Pole on December 14th of 1911, and he set up a very small tent with a Norwegian flag on it. And then they left because you have to get out of Antarctica before the Antarctic winter hits or you'll be dead. He never knew if Robert Scott was going to make it. Well, 34 days later, Robert Scott made it to the exact same spot where that little tent was. Do you have any idea how you can start thousands of miles away in Antarctica and end up in the exact same spot back in 1911?
So it's similar to what I said before. Either they are truly circumnavigating, which would mean that we live in a virtual reality and there's popping on the other side, or they're right along the edge. Now, the edge of flat Earth is the exact same speed, apparently, like relative to you, as if you were in the North Pole going around this little tiny circle. So what I think they probably did is got as close as they could to the firmament, like 89.9 degrees. And because of that, it'd be very easy to go very fast around. If the story is true, I want to believe it's true. So if it's true, that's how I think it would work.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely.
So because of etheric compression, you can go around this distance the same speed that it would take you to go around this distance. That's what this guy says. He just said that. Going this distance, you could travel the same speed, right? If it took you a day to fly this distance here around this circle, it would also take you a day to go from here to here, all the way around here, because of etheric compression.
Strong evidence that it's true. But my main question for you is how did they get to the same spot? There was nothing there.
Oh, that's celestial navigation. So the South Celestial Pole, you can always look at that. And the next question you're going to say is, how do they know where to go? Well, that's the longitude. So you may have never seen multiple observers before because you can't really do it on the globe.
So, hey, Stephen, why are longitude lines marked off in degrees?
Globes. You have to like stitch two stellariums together. But what matters though is the orientation will be offset. So
oh, did he? Cool.
right here, these are two south celestial poles. You have Chile and New Zealand. The circle is showing where the Southern Cross is. So that is how we can have an infinite amount of south celestial poles. You can have a million because longitude is a continuous coordinate system. And based on what part of the firmament you're looking at, it's extremely easy to know where you are in the world. So that is how, if they were trying to meet up, they would have done the same way everyone has always done celestial navigation, either with the north celestial pole or the north celestial pole, which is Polaris.
Okay.
What? You meant south celestial pole or the north celestial pole?
The firmament you're looking at, it's extremely easy to know where you are in the world. So that is how, if they were trying to meet up, they would have done the same way everyone has always done celestial navigation, either with the north celestial pole or the north celestial pole, which is Polaris.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So here's
He did say north twice, right? I'm not just imagining that.
the issue. I've studied your model. Now, by the way, we'll get to the South Celestial Pole. They would not be able to use that because they were finding the geographic South Pole in the summer and they had a 24-hour sun. So does that give you any clues as to how they found the geographic South Pole?
If it's in the summer and there's the sun, that would then be interesting. There might have been day stars they could see. For example, you know how we, like up in the north, we can see Venus.
Yeah. 1 day star. You can see 1 day star.
Very, very bright in the day. Maybe that's what they saw. Because with stars, the exact same.
Now, see, Venus comes out early in the morning when the sun is very low on the horizon. As soon as the sun comes up, man, you don't see Venus anymore.
Concept applies. We know how offset the star is from the north celestial pole, and we can always find our way. So that is how it would have been done in the day. And it would have been very clever as well if that is what they were doing. But I actually don't know how they did it. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, no problem. So Robert Scott ended up dying, but we recovered
Aw.
his body and his journal entries. We were able to
Oh, good.
read what he did. Amundsen survived and wrote a book about it. So they used celestial navigation, but they used it with the sun only. And
Yeah.
so they would take sun elevation angle measurements every day, every hour, so 24 per day. And the lowest elevation angle was south, and they would go in that direction.
That makes sense.
Here's the problem with your model, which I've looked at. If two people were in different locations on
Sun could never be south of a person at the South Pole.
your model in Antarctica, and they followed the direction where the sun has the lowest elevation angle, they'll actually be going away from each other. They would never go to each other.
You're right. So the difference then, you'd have to then look at something else. So you'd have to look at maybe sunspots.
Okay, so you're going to come up with some unobtainium? Is that what it's missing? A good dose of unobtainium?
Or the time of day. Those would be the two variables you'd have to play with, because the sun's still circling around every 24 hours. So that's what you'd have to play with if they were doing celestial navigation with the sun.
Okay, cool. I'm really glad that you admitted that, by the way, because this, I do think, is a very significant issue with your model.
So, I mean, how does the sun get all the way over here without illuminating everything in the middle? How does it get over here? How does the light from the sun that's over here illuminate something way over here and all this is dark? How does that fucking work, dude? And how is it a reflection of in the dome, but you can't see the original, right? If you can see the reflection, that means the light is getting to you from it, and it's going to the dome and then reflecting back to your face. So that would be that distance plus that distance. But you're standing here. If it can go that much further, then you should be able to see it at the shorter distance, looking straight at it.
Back in 1911, two men, they started at different times, thousands of miles apart, ended up in the exact.
Did that make any sense? Right? If I'm looking at my wall that's a mirror and I can see the sun that's back there, I should be able to turn around and fucking see the sun back there. So why weren't there two suns in the sky, asshole?
Exact same spot. By the way, that's stunning. So Antarctica is 1.5 times the size of the United States. And Robert Scott ended up where a tiny, small tent was 34 days later because they followed the same celestial navigation.
And if you're at the equator, shouldn't you be able to see the sun? Like a reflection off that dome, that side of the dome, and that side of the dome?
On a globe, following celestial navigation will bring you to the same spot, which is the South Pole. On a flat Earth, including your model, it'll send them further and further.
Hey, Sully.
Further away from each other.
Correct. No, you're right on that.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty.
But I don't think that's what they did, though.
Okay, but well, by the way,
you're right. They would have went in completely separate directions. But I believe they used sunspots and the timing of the sun to correctly navigate.
Right, and if the Earth is and if you take that abomination there and wrap it around a globe, then they'd be heading toward each other.
Because the sunspots still move, similar to how you could use the South Celestial Pole and what I was saying with the Southern Cross, you can look at the sunspots as well. And
so I was reading in Amundsen's book about what they did to protect their eyes from the brightness of the snow. And they had like leather with little slits in it.
Yeah, Eskimo sunglasses. Yep. Light's polarized. Basically, that was the first polarized sunglasses. Because it cuts out the wavelength of the sun that's going this way. And it only lets in wavelengths going this way. Cuts out half the sun. You could also, if you have glasses and you lose your glasses and you have to read something, you can take a pinhole. You can create a pinhole in like aluminum foil with a needle, just very small pinhole, and you can put that right up to your eye, like so it's touching your eyelashes, and you can read through that thing. You can do it even if you don't need glasses. But my buddy showed me that.
Just let in just a little bit of light so they wouldn't get snow blindness. I have no idea how they were looking at sunspots back in.
And you can get, if you've got enough light, and I've done it, take a pinhole, put it up to your eye, you can read stuff like that close to your eye. It's amazing.
1911.
Correct. So if the story is true, it does cause a problem for my understanding of how they would navigate. So that's something I definitely want to look into, because on my model, I did put 3 little dots for sunspots. So I can kind of play around with it and see if what I'm saying is even true. I never really attempted this yet, but you've given me now a project to attempt, and you'll see the results in the Firmament Trackers Facebook group.
Okay, awesome. Let's get to the South Celestial Pole. So we conversed on this, and again, you said there's an infinite number of South Celestial Poles.
Yes.
And one of the things, if you want me to pull it up, I can. But one of the things that we talked about was you said that, I believe you said that no one would ever have the South Celestial Pole directly above them.
Correct. And I don't believe that. So because 90 degrees south would mean the firmament is crushing you. It's not possible to actually go to 90 degrees south. As I said earlier, I do believe they're at 89.99 degrees. Now, we can't use GPS to verify that because GPS is closed source. I tried to look into it to see if we could look into it, and it's only an appeal to authority logical fallacy. So what I said is we need to look for the South Celestial Pole angle. If that...
It's an appeal to authority logical fallacy. No, it's GPS. It's computer code, dipshit. What are you talking about? So he looked into it, and he didn't like it. So it's a fallacy.
Is exactly 90.
Yeah, it works. Hey, Stanley, it's fucking amazing. I've actually like used that. Like I've got a pinhole on my Fuji body that I got from Goodwill for like $30. Yeah, it works.
90 degrees than they are at 90 degrees south latitude. But I think it's actually 89.99 degrees.
Okay. Do you remember why you told me no one?
Why would the rotational axis of the Earth be off center, dipshit? That's what the south celestial pole is. The south rotational axis of the Earth, dummy.
Could have the South Celestial Pole directly above them?
No.
Yes, he is a shit talker.
Okay. I don't either. 1 second.
Bring it up, though. Yeah, I can clarify if I said something weird.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. So let me pull this up. Okay. What I said to you was that there is only one place that you would have the South Celestial Pole directly above you. And
Correct.
you did admit if that was true, then your model would be falsified.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay,
Wow. Okay.
so of all
Let's see. Okay.
all of the people that have been to Antarctica, which is countless, who knows how many, and all of the photographers and video and pictures, there is only one place that anybody has ever been able to film the South Celestial Pole above them, and that is at the geographic South Pole.
Oh,
So
so
no matter-
I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, like if I was to go 1 degree away, the geographic South Pole would still be within the area. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that of all the people that travel to Antarctica, regardless of where they go, whether they start in Africa, whether they start in South America, whether they start in New Zealand, the only place that you can film the South Celestial Pole directly above you is at the geographic South Pole. And so I do think that fact alone also falsifies your model.
Well, are we able to go, though, to anywhere else? Because the way I understand it is they have like the area set up where if you want to go to 90 degrees, it's this specific zone. And they have like red markers and bamboo poles, I think, at the geographic pole. Like you can't go past an area. So I don't.
Yeah, you can go past 90 degrees south. You can. You can go to 90. You can go to 89 degrees south. You can go back and forth. So you're dumb, and you've just your model is falsified, dude. Your model is done.
Don't know how the permitting works, but if like you wanted to go here and head south, would you be allowed to just stop somewhere there? And because as you said, you need special runways. So what you're saying makes sense. If there's only one place that's possible to land on, and that's the only tourist or research area around 90 degrees south, like if they have nothing at 88 degrees south, then yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just so you know, and I'm sure you know this, but people make solo trips in Antarctica every year. They try to, go to the South Pole by themselves. They try to cross Antarctica by themselves. And so we have so many people that are there. They're freely and privately and independently traversing Antarctica.
Yes.
And the only place that anyone has ever seen the South Celestial Pole directly above them is at the geographic South Pole.
But how would you tell the difference? Like, do you mean they're showing you a video of them at the geographic South Pole and pointing it up? That's what you mean? Like,
Yes,
there'd be
that's
no
right.
way for you to take a video without it and point it up. That's kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying if you film the night sky anywhere else in Antarctica, you don't have the South Celestial Pole directly above you.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. The South
I agree
Celestial.
with you, though, at the geographic South Pole, you can. But what you're trying to say is that regular people should be able to have gone to other places, and because they haven't, only your interpretation is right. That's the logical fallacy that I'm not following. But I agree with you that, yes, people do go to the geographic South Pole and take photos. What I disagree with is that it's impossible to go to other places and get that same photo. So you could, on the opposite side of the geographic pole, go to 89.99 degrees, look up, the exact same photo that you got over there. The only difference would be you don't have that geographic marker around you. But I don't know why people would do that. Like for me, if I'm going to go to the South Pole, I'm going to the Amson Scott Station. I'm not going to mess around over here where there's nothing. So I think that's the problem. You're expecting a photo that no one wants to do or even can do. I don't know if there's set up here to go. Like if you want to, can you? 88 degrees at 0 longitude. How would you?
Yeah, it would obviously be very easy for a flat earther to refute this, because on the globe model.
Yeah, Bob asked, how do you look at sunspots and get a longitude, latitude? How do you use sunspots for navigation, Steve? You only use sunspots for the longitude. Wow. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking. This is from 21 hours ago. I guess we could listen
The only
to them
place you
while
can
I'm
be
looking,
at the
right?
GP, the ground position of the SCP, the South Celestial Pole, is at
There it is.
the one and only.
He's a scumbag liar or he's schizophrenic. Nothing good came from his mouth. It was all pretty bad, very uncapital of him. I wasn't pleased to meet him, but I'm pleased to hate him. 1, 2, 3, your turn. Don't let him get away with this.
Geographic South Pole.
Yes, what you're saying is true if the angle above is actually 90 degrees. If it is directly above you, instead of being an arc second off, which is what I believe it is, you would be right. But we need a way to measure the difference between 90 degrees and 89.999 degrees. And I don't think science has advanced to the point. Like that's why people still are debating flat Earth. Science is so young and we don't have the tools to measure this stuff yet.
Gotcha.
I don't think we can.
Okay. All right. So
Really? So we don't have odometers?
something else that I think is important, Stephen, and again, I'm bringing this up because I feel like flat earthers have been duped by you, and
he's like he wears the TFE shirt and he's got TFE like merch around. He shows them on on videos he does, like he's part of TFE, like he contributed or something.
believe you. And again, I'm
Hey, Greg.
defending you on one side of the coin by saying you're not trolling, but on the other side of the coin, I do think that you are an imposter. And so I have some issues that I'd like to bring up right now with the Flat Earth University.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm still on season 1. I'm on episode 4. I just watched the Courier. That was fucked up. Yeah, I'm watching like 1 or 2 episodes at night after when I go to bed.
Share my screen here again. Okay.
But I fucking love James Spader in that role. He's just so awesome. He's just nothing phases him. And he can go from like happy and jovial to serious in a fucking heartbeat. And you can tell. He is such a good actor.
First thing that I noticed,
I liked him in fucking Stargate. He was great in Stargate. He was perfect. I mean, they couldn't have picked a better actor for that than him.
is your credentials.
I mean, when he was drawing the glyph, the hieroglyph, he's like, look, little little pyramid. It's like it's hilarious.
And it says here that you got a Bachelor of Computer Science from the University of Waterloo, a Master of Computer Science from Queen's University, and a PhD from York University.
The PhD from York is not true.
Okay.
So you lied, huh? Well, you also put that in Amazon too. It's on Amazon. That's where I saw it.
Yeah.
So he lied here and he lied on Amazon. Huh. What else are you lying about, Steven?
Thank you. Because I could not find evidence of any of that.
Yeah, so I don't post information that would allow people to actually like dox me, call up my professors, because as you know, we receive death threats and we are a persecuted minority group. So the information.
You guys don't receive death threats. Shut the fuck up. You're not important to threaten with death. You're an idiot. You're a fucking liar. You've just been exposed as a pathetic fucking liar. Lying about your credentials.
There is vague, but it's the best that I can actually give people.
Okay. Yeah, I even searched for your dissertation there, human emotions in large language models, silicon versus carbon.
Oh, so that's not just saying I got my PhD at such and such a university, just to throw people off your scent. You've actually created a fake dissertation, dude. This guy's a psychopath.
And I just couldn't find it.
Correct. None of my past.
I find it really, really hard to watch. What's his name? William Shatner do anything but Kirk. It looks like an episode of fucking Star Trek. Like, yeah, we're going to the cop planet where everyone's where I have to be a cop. It always looks like an episode of Star Trek.
Academic papers will ever.
Just 20th century, they came back to the 20th century and they're pretending to be a police officer.
Be public for people because I don't want them
or a guy wearing a suit. He's just so typecast to me. Hey, Soul.
calling up York University saying, "Hey, Stephen Alonzo, whatever."
Okay. Sorry, I got to get better at presenting here.
No.
Let's see here. There was some more here.
Yeah,
Okay.
The about section, there's probably going to be something. I think I know where you're going.
Well, this one here says that you've held faculty positions at several universities. I couldn't find any evidence of that.
Correct.
Holy shit, man.
Also says that you've authored numerous papers in leading computer science journals. I couldn't find one of those. It also says you hold several patents. I couldn't find a single patent.
There's one that is public.
Okay. And then
it on the show though.
Okay. And then it also says that you received the Excellence in Teaching Award from Queen's University and the Distinguished Researcher Award from York. I got the list of the winners of those and you weren't there listed in either of those. Okay. And then
So he's just blatantly lying about his entire history, just about his entire existence. Just fucking lied. Got caught, and he's like, "Yeah, I lied." Mm-hmm. What a fucking human turd.
then the next one here, let's see here. Okay. So this one was a little bit concerning to me, which was another professor at the school, Professor John M. Anderson. I have a feeling this is a fake person.
Oh yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah, because it also listed his.
So yeah, he's just an imposter. He's a phony. He's just a fucking troll. A Poe. He's a fucking Poe.
His credentials, which I could not find, claimed he had a PhD from Stanford.
Yeah, these were all AI teachers. There's another one, Dr. Meilei Zhang. That was when I was originally setting up the Flat Earth University, but it made more sense to have the students interacting with me directly. So none of those professors actually teach the courses anymore. So you can enroll now in FE 101 or FE 102, and you'll be assigned me directly as your professor.
I mean, this guy's pathetic. This is pathetic.
Okay, but
And he thinks it's okay to do that.
Professor John M. Anderson's not a real person.
Oh, no. I just got the license to use that through the clothing deal. If you notice they're wearing my clothing, that's the company that provided me to use those.
Got it.
So they're not real people at all, no.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful because, again, people have unfortunately fallen for this and they think that it's all real.
Oh, I'd hope not. So I'm the professor at Flat Earth University. I'm the one who'll actually be teaching people.
No, you're not teaching anybody. You're lying to people. You're spreading lies to people.
Okay, great.
That's not teaching. That's conning. That's grifting.
There's a lot of...
You're selling a lie for money. That's called fraud.
Stuff from 2023 when I first started it and didn't really have funding, didn't know what I was doing. So that link there, I don't think is actually public on the website. It'd be an old page that's probably still archived by Google. That's how you would have found it.
Gotcha. Then there's this one here, which is the San Pedro campus.
Yes.
I noticed that the picture there is actually the government building in Santiago, Chile.
Correct. So that's actually the banner image for all our pages, not just this one.
Okay.
So if you click, like, I think students, I think the banner image will be the same as well.
Gotcha. Okay. So there really is no campus then?
Well, the Flat Earth University.
There's no university, Will. It's fake. He made it up. It's in his head. That university only exists in his head and on his website. It's not accredited.
University exists as a business in Belize, and I use it for a lot of my financial purposes. Like, we own assets here.
Gotcha. But it's not like a physical campus.
Correct. No, we can't ever have physical campuses due to the threat of hate crimes. That'll never happen for Flat Earth, at least not now in the current state we are in.
Okay.
In the future.
What a deluded fuck. Because of hate crimes.
It'd be nice if we could have public buildings where people...
No, because of fraud. Because of the law, dipshit. I don't care if it's a tax dodge or not. Even in Belize, if you rip people off, you're going to go to jail.
People could come in and study and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's like Trump University.
Online school. If you're not aware, we're an online school.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You're not a school.
Some people had thought that you were actually had physical locations.
Have they though, or is it only Globers? Have you ever had a flat earther tell you that, or is it only Globers? Because that seems to be the only people that...
So you don't say on the website that it's fake. You're just saying it here now in the debate, in the conversation. You're a fraud. Everything about you is a fucking lie, man.
Try to make me look bad.
Well, I mean, the website says it, so I wouldn't fault somebody for believing it.
But
there are no... I've looked at your website, and there are no disclaimers saying this is not real. don't take it seriously.
It should be very obvious. Like, I have 400 students right now fully enrolled in the online program, and I never got one email saying, hey, where's the campus? So I hope, like, it's not flat earthers messaging you, and I'm assuming based on your response it is only Globers that are saying that, and if so, I'm okay with that.
Okay. One other one here real quick, which I thought was interesting.
So it's okay to lie to people if they believe it? Wow.
Is you mention here the last sentence of the first section says Flat Earth University serves as the global epicenter for geocentric cosmology.
Now, this is very important because it's a semantic logical fallacy. If people
The global, yeah, no, it's not a logical fallacy. No, you're using it. He didn't write it there, dipshit. This is from you. A semantical fallacy? What the fuck?
That was interesting.
I mean, my God, this guy's worse than Flatzoid. I mean, this is worse than Flatzoid ever could be.
Is
I mean, but he's better than Flatzoid in the way that he just admitted it. It's, yeah, I'm lying. Flatzoid won't even admit that he lies at all. Oh yeah, exactly, Petey. It's a catch me if you can thing. And this guy's just as corrupt. Yeah, you a Flash fan? You like comic books? It's like, what? Yeah, Barry Allen. Just a Flash.
You mention here the last sentence of the first section says Flat Earth University serves as the global epicenter for geocentric cosmology.
Now, this is very important because it's a semantic logical fallacy. If people don't understand,
yes, you used it. You're committing the logical fallacy, stupid.
Understand how a noun and an adjective can be different. That's why it's there. So I've been pointed this out several times, but I'm not changing it because it's very important. In Flat Earth, the meanings of words matter, but in all discussions, the meaning of words matter. So global means a great outreach, a wide audience. It doesn't mean on a physical globe.
I
Does that
see.
make
Okay.
sense to you? So you're going to see a lot of that
How about say universal?
in the site. Because
You know, there are other words than global.
my whole point,
You know why we used it? You know where the word global came from? Fucking globe. It's in the word, dumb fuck.
is to help make flat earthers smarter. As you know, like, there's no reason to deny a 24-hour sun, no reason to deny all that. And it comes down to very silly reasons. And I hope through what I do with this, we're able to teach people in kind of a fun way.
This guy's a fucking snake.
So this is the perfect example of how I would teach people about semantic logical fallacies and why the definitions and uses of words really matter.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. I just wanted to make you aware of it as.
Oh yeah, I know it's there.
Okay. And then this next one here, you actually
He's so proud of it too. Wow.
did post
Yeah, I lied. Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
in your group, the Firmament Trackers.
Yeah, I lied there too.
Firmament Trackers
Yeah, well, I'm never a pilot. That was fiction. I lied. Yeah.
public group.
Fuck. Are you kidding me?
So
Yes.
I noticed, because again, like I was researching you, and I just noticed this pattern of you claiming things that I didn't think were true, that didn't seem believable. And this one here, you said in 2020 you did your ISSA certifications.
Yes. Do you want me to get my textbooks?
I called them, and they said you never finished and you were never certified.
Oh shit.
I don't know why they would say that. I don't even.
Because you didn't get certified and you never finished. That's why they said that.
Think they're legally allowed to say that.
Yeah, they can say that.
Well, people want to make sure that the people that are claiming to be ISSA certified are legitimate. So I think they are allowed to do that so that people can't just lie about it. And they definitely said you contacted them about doing the class, but that you never finished it and are not certified.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. That's exactly what liars say when they're caught. Well, that's interesting.
So anyway, I
Wow.
do like that you're, take your health seriously and all
Yes,
that
I'm down
good
to
stuff.
20% body fat now. So when I first started this 6 months ago, I was at 25% body fat, 190 pounds. I'm about 164.
Wow.
But it's body fat. And again, flat earth fitness. We're exercising on flat.
Yeah, he just, oh, no, yeah, I lied. Yeah, I'm a fraud, but I'm down to 20% body fat. God, what a turd. What a human scumbag.
surfaces.
Wow.
So yeah, this is a wonderful program. If anyone's interested, we have a Flat Earth Fitness Facebook group where my work
Why would anyone want to fucking take your advice on fitness when you're not certified?
speaks for itself. So I'm not a big credentials guy. I don't want you to believe me because
You're not a big credentials guy, but you claim to be a pilot, a PhD, on the dean's list of several universities or whatever, accredited fitness trainer. Well, you're not into credentials, are you? Because you have none. You don't have any credentials, asshole. You're a fraud.
I have a PhD. Believe me, because of the science and math, the exercise science, the proof of the results.
Right, and your shit doesn't work. Will just showed you that. Oh, yeah, I messed up there. Oh, I didn't copy that down right. You're a clown, man. You're a fucking clown. Holy shit, man.
That's all.
I mean, this guy's a complete fucking disgrace. A failure.
Don't ever believe anyone because of a degree or a credential. That's just receipts for tuition.
Then why are you claiming to have a credential? Why are you claiming credentials when they're not important? Because you're a fucking con man. You're a cowardly thief. You're taking money for lies.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you still consider
I wouldn't say his master's science degree in computer sciences is legit either. If he lies about everything else.
yourself a doctor?
Oh, yeah. So to have a doctorate, you have to contribute original work, make an original contribution. Now, if I did.
No. What? How do I get a doctorate, a PhD? Why the fuck isn't this working, man? I'm not even going to look that up, man.
Didn't, then I would feel shameful for referring to myself as that. And to clarify, I'm not a medical doctor. So I don't want anyone to think I'm a medical doctor. A doctorate degree means you make an original contribution to the field. And for me, that was the Firmament Trackers app.
Yeah, I do want to. To get a doctorate degree, you'll need to complete coursework, a dissertation, and possibly an exam. You got to be admitted into a doctoral program. Complete a master's degree, complete coursework, develop a research proposal, complete a dissertation, which you said is fake, pass an exam, get approval.
Multi-observer software is something that was never done before. As you see, the best globe model possible is what I have above me. And you can.
But you aren't showing a multi-observer model. There's one observer here. You're the only observer. You're seeing different fucking wireframe spheres all over the place. Those aren't observers. You're the observer. You can't have multiple observers on a thing on a 3D model with one camera, you dumb fuck.
You can only have one observer at a time. So my original contribution, which allowed me to earn my PhD, my doctorate in September of last year, was this software. And I'm really proud of it. You can download.
Earn from where? Oh, earn from the Flat Earth University that you made up. Oh, okay.
It for free, test out the basic features. We have many versions of it. So this is why I earned my doctorate, because even Globe software cannot do multiple observers in real time. They got.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can switch back and forth between points in real time. You most fucking certainly can. Stellarium, night sky, you fucking certainly can.
To do pre-made renders like in Blender, where my software is real time, which is insane that it took a flat earther to do this.
Yeah. Now, I should tell you, Stephen, this is an area, I'm not a doctor. This is not an area I'm very familiar with, but I did have some people contact me when I announced our debate and I made the thumbnail, and they pushed back at you referring to yourself as a doctor. They said that it was disrespectful to people who are actually doctors, who actually got their PhD.
Yeah, it takes like over a decade to get a PhD, man, and you just claim you're one because you made up a university? Yeah, Donald Trump has a PhD in Trump University, too. You think he really has a PhD? You think that would be an insult to all PhDs?
And so I do think we should be careful in arguing that if we make an app that's new or novel, that we can call ourselves a doctor.
Well, it depends what field it's in. So I'm not a doctor of philosophy or a doctor of biology. It's
You're a doctor of bullshit.
geocentric cosmology. So no one should feel offended unless they feel like they work in the same field as I do. And it's not just a new app, it's a whole new entire concept.
No, asshole. The act of receiving a PhD is an honored thing. You just said, well, here, I got one. I gave myself one. So I'm the same as these guys.
No one's ever done this before. Like, I don't even think you can do it on a globe. To have multiple observers on a globe, I don't think it's possible, but I'm willing to admit that it's more of a software limitation rather than a modeling issue. But yeah, it's not just an app. It's a whole new way to look at astronomy. No one has ever been able to plot like infinite observers. Let me just...
You know why? Because your fucking math doesn't work. Your optics don't exist in reality.
see what we have. No, not this one here. Yeah, so the software is just so cool. And that's why with the software, I became so confident that there has to be a 24-hour sun. And I built this myself. So I was able to test what works, what doesn't. And
no, you didn't build that yourself. You stole that from Walter Bislin and some other guy. I can't remember his name. You stole this. And it doesn't work. It can't work. That can't work. Physically work. Even if the earth was flat, that couldn't physically fucking work. Light doesn't do what you describe it does.
yeah.
And like I said, if the sun's over here and I'm over here, right? If the sun's here and I'm here and I'm seeing a 24-hour sun, that means this entire thing has to be illuminated at one time while this is dark. So the sun has to go from here across, the light has to go across this dark spot and hit me over here. How does that work, dude? Does it go over? Does it fucking wrap around and hit me from behind? How does that work, man?
Yeah, I'll give you credit. You've done a good job. I think in the past, I'm going to apologize for something. In the past, I accused you of stealing Walter Bislin's model.
You did.
He did. He did, Will. He just took the code and transposed it into whatever the code he uses.
But the
But if you,
reality is, it appears you have not done that. Rather, you have built on top of it and made it better, so to speak.
well, not even built on top of
Well, yeah, that's called stealing the code, Will. He stole the code and then improved it or built on it.
it, they're entirely different languages. So he did his in Java.
If I steal a car and put different tires on it, Will, it's still a stolen car. Okay?
JavaScript, and I did mine in TypeScript. So JavaScript, the best way to describe it is
So he took Walter Bislin's JavaScript and transposed it into TypeScript. That's all he did.
we have objects and is handled completely different. So I actually don't even understand Walter Bislin's code, and it makes no sense to use someone else's. Anyone who works in software development, like I do professionally.
So you have a PhD in computer sciences and you don't know how to use Java? Seriously? He has a PhD in computer sciences, right? Even if he doesn't have the PhD, he says he majored in computer sciences, but he doesn't know Java? What is TypeScript? TypeScript is a strongly typed programming language that builds on JavaScript, providing optional static typing. So you'd have to know JavaScript to know TypeScript. Jesus Christ.
And that's where most of my money comes from, software contracts. And that's why I'm very secretive about what I do with Flat Earth and what I reveal to people. But anyone who knows software development knows it's easier to code your own code base than trying to learn someone else's code base. And I've been doing software development for like over 10 years now.
Okay, cool.
10 years and he doesn't know Java. Wow. Holy shit.
That is what I had prepared to talk to you about. I do think the issues in the math on the flights and the South Pole, the geographic South Pole, and the single South Celestial Pole directly above it are things that you're going to have to work on. And maybe, as you told me in the past, if I'm right on those, that your model is falsified. So maybe you'll tell me it's falsified.
Yes, but sadly, it's not going to mean Flat Earth, though, is over. There's other.
Yeah, it does. Yes. See, your model is the only thing that was left that could explain the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And it's done.
Communities like the Awake Souls, they have 20,000 subscribers, more influence than me, and they have that model that you showed me with that picture of the stereographic model. They can't develop it out themselves. It'll have to be me who ends up making it for them, but they have it conceptualized and they have a large following that really believe it. So
what, those guys, they believe in a Pac-Man Earth where the sun has to like teleport from here to here when it's moving this direction. It has to go boop.
It would falsify my model. You're right. The Firmament Trackers app would have to be redone or rebranded. The AE model wouldn't work if what you're saying is true. If it's actually possible to go to 90 degrees, look straight up and see it at 90 degrees and not 89.99, that's a huge problem for my model. But that's what's great about science. We form hypotheses that we attempt to falsify and we move forward to a more refined understanding.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
No, I think we had a really good discussion. In general, I haven't actually looked at the comments. I had this in full screen. But any flat earthers who are wondering like about giving up flat earth, it seems to be now because all the communities are now just, we have no model. Earth is measured flat. We make no claims.
They've always been that way, Alonzo or Steven. They've always been that way. Never had a model, never makes claims. It's nothing new, dude.
But that's wrong. We have to make claims. We have to make predictions. And I encourage people to study like flat earth math. There's a reason that most of us in my group knew there'd be a 24-hour sun. You know, these are 90 degrees.
An observer at 80 degrees south in December, minus 80 is greater than 90.
Right
Wow.
angles against the flat earth. And go outside, look at the sun. You know, I live in Belize. My north celestial pole is
Hey, Dan.
17 degrees from my horizon. Well, if the sun's behind me, I can start making predictions about places like Union Glacier. So I encourage people to look at the math, do experiments
Right on.
yourself. For flat earth, it's intersectional because it crosses through all these different types of fields.
Got it. I do want to address one more thing because people have contacted me concerned about you selling merch with the TFE logo on it. So,
Yeah, I'm one of those people. So he didn't get permission from Will to sell his merch. That's a dick move, man. Sell somebody else's shit.
Steven, I just want to show everyone, for full transparency, our conversation that we had via email.
Yes.
So you reached out to me and you asked if I would want to like split profits with you if you sold TFE merch. And my response was very simple. I said, thanks for reaching out. I didn't create TFE to make money, so I don't think this is a good idea. And now on your website, you say that you have a licensing agreement with me to sell the merch.
Mm-hmm. That's that.
Now,
No. What?
you have a licensing agreement with me to sell the merch.
Mm-hmm. That's that
Now,
bottom email there.
Yeah, the bottom email is you.
Implicit, yeah.
Yeah, the bottom email is you. You picked a charity and you said you were going to donate my shares to charity and then put on your website that you and I have a licensing agreement, and nothing could be further from the truth. I actually said I didn't want to do it. So I do appreciate you repping the brand here, but that seems
Wow. So he's selling his merch, claims to have a license agreement so people will buy it, thinking he's legit.
a bit disingenuous to me.
Well, that's why I said, so the reason I have to ask, let you know, is that I cannot legally sell it otherwise.
Right. You can't legally sell it, man. That's his trademark. That's it. That's his brand. You're lying about having the agreement, the arrangement. You're a fraud.
That's why I had to let you know. You could have said no, you didn't. I took that as implicit consent. Because obviously it looks bad if you're telling a flat earther he can sell the merch. So that's why I try to set.
If he doesn't say yes, that means no, dummy. What the fuck are you talking about?
This up in the way that it'd work out for the both of us, because I do want to promote TFE to the flat earth community. And if they see someone like me wearing this and making documentaries about the science and math that was done, it's really good.
No, it's good for you. It's good for you. It's not good for Will. See, you're using Will. You're using him. You're exploiting his deal to lend credence, to lend legitimacy to your fucking bullshit. You're doing it without his permission and claiming you have it.
But what I said is still true. Anyone who has bought a shirt, I can prove that I'm making that donation if that's the issue.
Yeah, I will say that
Every word that's come out of your fucking mouth during this thing has been a lie. How do you expect anybody to believe you on this?
I'm not upset or anything like that.
Thank
But I
you.
just want to say, I just want you to know how it came across to me. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to set it up in a way that you didn't have to say yes, because it would look bad. Then if I screenshot you saying yes and post it to everyone and make
See, it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission, right? Holy fuck.
you look bad and people already like think
I mean, that's a goddamn sovereign citizen bullshit argument. Well, I wrote you a letter and I didn't hear anything back, so you didn't say no, so the answer is yes, right? Ignorance is complacency, something like that.
crazy stuff. So that's why I did the
I
way
mean, that's what flat earthers do. They're like, you owe me this amount of money for my time because you put me in jail, and a judge looks at that and goes, "Fuck, I'm not. Fuck, who the fuck is this guy?" Delete. Well, you didn't answer me, so you were complacent, and you didn't say no, so you owe me money. That's goddamn sovereign citizen bullshit.
I did it there.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here. I think we had a good conversation, gave people a lot to think about, and people can check you out online if they want to follow up for more information.
Got the links above. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Man, what a horrible fucking person, man. His entire existence is complete bullshit. A lie. He's a fraud.
All right. Thank you,
I knew he didn't have Will's permission to sell that shit.
everybody, for joining.
Anyway, damn. I mean, damn. I think we found fucking top left, man. Hey, William, what's up? Oh, the Trump? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's about all that's on the internet right now is Trump's speech. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, they filed bogus affidavits demanding responses within 21 days or else, and they're just ignored, and they say, well, you didn't respond, so you conceded. Yeah, so the case is dismissed. God, what a piece of trash this guy is. Amazing. I mean, and proud of being a lying sack of shit. But he admits it. Wow. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later. And as always, be seeing you. I'll upload the time lapse for the print that's running now. And it should come up a lot nicer than the ones in the past. So anyway, thanks.